Hi, and welcome back to Plastic Models by a Regular Dude and part 3 of the Meng 1/35th scale Jagdpanther Ausf G1. Alright, so last time we started with step 1, the wheels, drive sprockets, idlers, assembled the lower hull and added some of the lower hull detail on both sides. And this is how it looks thus far. So next up, we'll start with step 4. Alright, for step 4, looks like we need to do the suspension arms, the swing arms, and then the toe clevises on the back. And that's pretty much it. There's some small details that go on to the swing arms. We'll get to that. So let's start. I'm going to do them each set at a time, because there's 4 of this one, 2 of this one, 10 of this one. So I need to make sure that I keep them separated, keep them lined up. So let's start with parts F5 and F6. We've got 4 of each. So let's see, we've got F5, so where are they? Here's F5 here, so we got, looks like there's 2 per side, so I'll just get these 2 here, whoops, first. Well, these things are making it hard to cut, I keep bumping it. And since they're all pretty much identical, I'll demonstrate with these 2 and then do the rest off camera like usual. So then we need F6, which are right here. Got 2 of those. There's others that are similar but different numbers, so I'll do those later. So just like before, I'll demonstrate how I clean stuff up for the first few items, and then after that I'll just do it off camera so as not to take up too much time. So just cut it as close as possible with the old magic clippers here. That, and then clip this little bit of sprue gate off there, so that looks good. Then using the handy dandy sanding stick, I will remove the remaining little bit of business there. Like that. Not that it's going to be seen because it's going to be behind the wheel. And then let's see, this part will glue on the front of this, so let me get that ready. I also want to make sure I get this mold seam line off before I glue that other part on, so I'm just going to use this real small sanding stick here to kind of buzz that off. It's not as critical for these parts because they're going to be totally invisible behind the road wheels. So I'm not gonna freak out if I don't get every bit off of here, but I do want to get most of it, and I'll use my knife here to scrape the flat spot right there. That way I don't have to worry about rounding the edges with the sanding stick. A little bit right there. That's good. All right, then this piece. There's a slot right there, a tab right there, so that kind of fits in there like that, and then that drops down into position. Now I am sure there is some reason why they did this way, but it just seems kind of weird that it would be like that. But hey, who might argue? So we'll do that, and then drop some glue in there like that. And I'm not sure if that's supposed to have a seam there like that, but again, because that's going to be facing the vehicle, I'm not going to worry about filling that in or anything. That may just be a clever way of making a stop. I don't know. But there's that. So there's that one. So I'm going to work on the rest of them and come back once I have them all completed, and we'll see how they fit into the hull. Okay, so now I am ready to start installing all of these suspension arms. So let me zoom out here for a second. As you can see, the three different types I've got divided up here, A, B, and C. So it'll make it a little easier to keep them lined up. So the first, and something to note is it's really kind of essential. The slots in these are different sizes. This one's real thin. This one's a bit thicker, so it makes it a little bit harder to put them in the wrong spot, but it can still be done if you weren't careful. So let me zoom back in and let us begin. So in the first, I'm going to try and do this without messing up my stacks there. So in the first position, we have suspension C. So that goes right there, possibly. You got to get the angle just right for it to, there we go, for it to slide into place. Now what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to put them all in position, then I'm going to use a straight edge and make sure they're all perfectly level, because there's not much wiggle room, but there is some, and I want to make sure that it's all nice and level. And then what I'll do is I'll just use my cement and hit it right on the edge there. So then the next one is A. Like that, and then the next three positions are C. So one, whoops, two, and the nice thing is the fit going into these openings right here are like super snug. 30. Got them bottomed out. All the axles are the same distance apart, all even here. Okay, then 1, 2, 3. Then the next one is B. And be careful reading this because you might misread it, which I almost did. There's another C here, because the way you can't hardly see the hole there, but C goes into that one there, and then B goes in this one here. It's shaped quite a bit differently, and it goes there. And then the last position here is another A. Like that. So they're all even across like that. Let's take the old handy dandy straight edge here. And then they are all nice and flush and straight. So now I can glue them. Okay, with all of the suspension arms in place, I can now move on to step 5, which is this upper hull bit. So first thing I'm going to cut off, and it shows you the order in which to do it. But the first thing I need to do is drill some holes. So I'm going to cut that rear engine deck off, which is D22. And I'll have to drill some 0.7 millimeter holes. Okay, so we got that. So I'll clean this up and then get my, I did some holes in the last episode, but in case you missed that, I'll demonstrate again. Alright, so I got those drilled out, so that's ready to go. So the next part I need to cut off is this big superstructure framework kind of thing. So get that cut off of here. I'll cut this off and get it cleaned up like everything else. So while I'm cutting and cleaning stuff, I'm going to go ahead and get these fan assemblies cut out. F-16s, 2 of them. Get those ready as well. Okay, one thing to note is there's a few places on here where there's some big like half moon shaped bits in the ejector pin marks on this rear deck. So those need to be taken care of so they don't hinder the placement of the rear deck. So just make sure everything is really flat. And that those are cut down really well. You don't want those causing any problems later. So there's that. So let's see how it fits. And it fits like this. Okay, looks like it's making good contact there and there. And there. And there. So that's good to go. So I can glue those in place now. So I'll do like I usually do. Hold it in place. Oh yeah, I'm going to use the quick setting. Do a section at a time, make sure it's seated really well, because the better things fit early on, the less likelihood there is of something not fitting right. So I got that, so I think I'll jump over to this side here. Again, using capillary action. Yeah, I know I mispronounced that. Capillary action. Or capillary action, if you like that. Make sure it's all pressed in place. Nice and firmly, like thusly. Then I think I will jump to the back here. attach it to that seam there. Put a little bit on the other side. And I'm even going to clamp that there. Not that it really needs it, but I like my clamps. So I'm going to let that dry up for a second and then do the sides here. All right, so those are all solidified. So now I can glue these parts here. Again, the fit looks pretty dandy. So I'll put a little bit of quick setting extra thin there. And there. Make sure it's stuck good. Yeah. And then the other side. Right here. Not necessary, but I'll put some right there as well. Make sure that's stuck in place. It's nice because the inner part of this grill type thing keeps it from going too far forward, but it's notched out so it has a nice positive connection. All right, so there's that. So the next part I need to do is I need to glue these in. Now, I think I might need to get it fit like that. Kind of the problem here is they're going to be visible from the outside. So I need to determine if I'm going to paint those or not before I install them. So after pondering for a moment, I think I'm going to paint this part black. I need to see what colors these should be in the real lives and paint that as well. Not that it's really going to be seen, but I don't want to take any chances of it being too visible. So I think I'm going to go ahead and spray those. Actually, I think I may just brush paint them. So let me take a look at that. Okay, so I painted them. As you can see, it's a sloppy paint job done with the brush, but that is because once they're installed, you can't even see down in there. I just wanted it to be black so it would be so visible. This part here, it's going to have the grill part and the screen over top, so that'll just take care. I don't want it to be a glaring, you know, body color once I get the other parts put on. So I need to trim this off just a little bit more here where I had to drill those holes. Okay, so I can glue these in. You can't really put them in backwards. There's 2 pins and 1 pin which match these 2 pins and that 1 pin. So for this, I'm going to use this cement right here, and that there, that there, that there. And put that there like that. And do the same on the other side. Alright, so I've got those 2 fan things glued in, so now I can put this on the top here. And the way it works is there's these 2 large pins go in those 2 large holes. like that. And then this back here, there's a couple of tabs that these fit up against, these side pieces. And this fits right up against the back. So let's see, the first thing I'm going to do is I think I'm going to glue the front, because that's the most stable part. So I'm going to use this glue here, but I'm going to use my longer brush. I have a longer cement brush here. Notice it's really fine pointed. Very cheap, inexpensive brush, and it works like a charm. So just do that and that. And I think I'll just run a seam along the inside there. Okay, so let that set up for a second while I check the alignment on the back. So I already ran my cement down along the edge there. The bottom was flared out a little bit, so I'm just holding it in place. Just like that. I used the quick setting for this because I wanted to set quickly. But the nice thing is it's really positive in how it mounts or how it sits in there. So you don't have to worry about things being misaligned. So I'm going to let that set up for just a second while I move my instructions. So next is the other side. Using the quick setting once again. Push it into place. It lines up really well. Really well. Nothing weird or tweaky about it. If you can hear that, that is my cat Bast. Came in the room here with me. She's going to help. Okay, so there's that. So that finishes step 5. So now we can start on step 6. Okay, let's see. So the first thing I need to do is I need to cut off the fenders B23 and 22. Get those ready. There's those. Get these cleaned up. Whoops. Okay, and these fit right up underneath here, and they fit wonderfully. So yes, I am singing the praises of this kit because so far it is so good. I'm really digging this. It's going together well. So let's see, where shall I start? I think I'll start at the back right here. On this back part right here. Get that tacked into place first. So that looks pretty good. Okay, then I think I'll do this front part here. So that is connected really good. Okay, and I'm going to let that set up while I do this other one. Then I'll do here and underneath there. Alright, so now all I need to do is glue this here. Just make sure it doesn't stick out any weird way. Keep it as flush as possible. Okay, and then this side, same thing. Like that. Okay, so that is that. So that takes care of, oh no, now in step 6 I need to do this part here. So I need B5, 20, 21. B5. And 21, where are they? There's 20. $34. And 2F38. Those are tiny. Okay. Now I need to do, let's clean them up. Okay. This piece goes here. Like thusly. This one goes here. If I'm not mistaken, this is the access plate for the inertia starter. if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if they did it on the Panthers as well as the Tigers. I mean, it would make sense. I think they had to also crank the engine before starting them up to get the lubricants all where they need to be. Alright, so we got that. So next, I'm going to need some tweezers for these. These little teeny tiny parts go here, and they are angled, so you got to make sure you get them angled the right way. Make sure it's straight. Then this one, same thing. Drop it if possible. Oh, oh. Oh my goodness. This one's tiny. Okay, there we go. So that fits there. Again, you go, oh, that's pretty straight. And then this piece goes here, so it kind of like dangles down. So I'm going to put it in place here so I can make sure that it's hanging correctly. Now this fits on here. There's a slot in the back of that plate. Let me show you. There's a slot right there and a pin right there. So it goes like that. So make sure that's hanging. Whoa. Vertically like that. And then glue this. I'm going to use my long brush so I can get it from the inside. Like that. And with that, step 6 is complete. All right, next, step 7, I gotta put the jack together first. So we need parts B9, 10, 11, 28, and 29. So let's get those, which are right here. We got 11. 10, 9, and 28 and 29. All right, so we got this part first, then this part here. I think I will use, I'm going to use the extra thin. Apply it on the inside there, that way it doesn't squeeze out the sides. Okay, so we got that. Then this piece here, fits there. I think I'm going to use this glue for this one, just because I don't want okay, got that. Then this piece here, goes there. Make sure it's on there nice, and I'm gonna put a, yeah, that's good. Okay, and then this little teeny tiny piece here goes there. That's some small parts. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a little bit slower drying, regular to me extra thin. First, I'm going to grasp the part like this. Get some extra thin right there. Just like that. Very delicate. All right, so while that is drying thoroughly, I'm going to cut off 14, 13, 30, and 26. So we got 13. Whoops. 14. 30, and 36 somewhere. 36, 30, no, there's 26. Oh yeah, that's what I need, 26. Duh. Alright. Alright, all those are done. So, let's see, this piece here goes there. Like that. So I need to carefully glue that in place. Like that. This piece here, little pin little opening. Carefully glue that without smashing the handle part. So we got that. And this piece here goes there. Tell you what, this is a good exercise for the manual dexterity. And then this little wing nut thing goes right there. Use my tweezers and kind of press it in place. Man, that's some nice detail right there, I gotta say. Nice indeed. Just a little bit more just to make sure it sticks. And that is the jack. So that goes on the back, but I'm gonna wait to put that in place. Now the next thing it shows is the wheels. So let's take a look at that. All right, I've heard many a complaint about the tightness of these wheels. The poly sleeves just seem to be a little small, so it puts stress on these swing arms and could very well pop them, break them, and they are quite tight indeed. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do with that, because I do not want to break those swing arms. So here's what I've decided to do. I've already got the axles taped off because since the wheels are such a tight fit, I don't want to build up of primer and paint on it, so I taped those off. Got all my wheels, drive sprockets, idlers on toothpicks, aka cocktail sticks, as our European friends call them, ready for primer and paint. So I'm going to set those aside. And I am not going to use the kit tracks because I have these Kaizen Panther tracks. They are the exact same pattern as the ones that come in the kit, and if I use these, that will allow me to paint the wheels and all this separately. I can assemble the whole kit, you know, get everything painted, and then I can do the tracks separately and feed them through and put them together, and I'll get a nice sag and everything else. I don't have to worry about gluing the other ones together. So I'll have the other ones as extras for maybe a future project or something, or whatever, but that's what I'm going to do. That'll make it a lot easier. So with that in mind, that finishes step number 7. And after step 7, I did a quick check, and this video is approximately 45 minutes long, so that is going to be the end of part number 3, which are steps 4 through 7. So the next time I come back for part 4, I will start, since I'm not doing 8, I will be moving on to step 9, start assembling the hull plates. So as always, thanks for watching Plastic Models by a Regular Dude. If you have any hints, tips, suggestions, all that kind of stuff, put them in the comments section down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So as always, thanks for watching, and until next time for part number 4 of the Meng Jagdpanther G1. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all later.